All right, here is my recap of the game I did with Tatjana. It was definitely a good game, so check it out and we will get into it. So, this first round is you think it'd be the United States. I knew it wasn't. I knew this would be some stupid theme park somewhere in the world, so I just have to figure out where. Now, we both came across a sign that had Dutch on it and it had the euros and currency as well too. So, we both ended up going with the Netherlands here. Actually, we were wrong. It was Belgium, but at the end of the day, there was really nothing to indicate that it was Belgium. So the Netherlands, honestly, was a fine guess here. And yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day. She was closer. I went to Amsterdam. She went in the center. So I didn't lose a whole lot of points here. So this definitely wasn't a deciding factor in the match or anything. So we live to see another day. Now, this next round felt like Greece or Northern Italy to me, but I didn't want to click it right away. Now, kind of want to just talk about my general strategy here. This match was full of glitches, but Tatjana had them and I had them as well too. You really couldn't go down the highway properly. It brought you back to the start, but it was the same for both of us, so it is what it is. That didn't actually change anything. Now, generally my strategy here is I know she's the favored one in move. Especially don't want to do Europe rounds against her and move. And if I know where I am, I kind of just have to do a general guess. As the pilot says, brace for impact. I'm going to take some damage when I see these EU rounds. Maybe in the Baltics, I would do a bit better, but like Italy, Greece, Spain, all this, Portugal, I'm not going to do good against Tatjana. And especially, I don't want a Turkey round against her either, as that's her favorite country to travel. So with rounds like these, I just have to do some generalized good guesses. So she's definitely favored in the move. Now, for the no move, I do have a slight edge there. So I know if I win this move, I'm probably going to win the match. But if I don't win this move, that I still have a chance to win. So I'm going to do the best I can here. And ultimately, eventually, I got up and saw a sign that it was in Greek, and there was a highway sign too, which is very rare to see in Greece. I forgot what it was, and I clicked to go closer to it, and then it like brought me back to the start or something. So I think it was either 36 or 37. So I found a highway that was close to that number and just clicked it, and ultimately that is what I did. And at the end of the day, I did cut this around a little bit just because, yeah, pretty uneventful. She was closer. It was obviously Greece, but it is at what it is at the end of the day. Took some damage, but nothing too major. Definitely something I could survive here. Now, this is Portugal. I confirmed that by going to just checking and going down in the parking lot, and I saw Portuguese plates. Her being a tour guide in Portugal, this is not the round I want for move. I had a strong feeling that she knew where this was going to be, so I had to guess quickly and not really give her a chance to kind of find where it is. I had no idea where it is. It felt northern to me, so ultimately I was okay with that guess. But really, at the end of the day, I had no idea where it was in Portugal. I kind of just I knew I was going to take damage here. I'm glad I did make that decision because she was actually about to 5K it, so that's good. This is the first time I've actually said that I wanted India, believe it or not. So I did study the polls a bit. I remember seeing these ones, but I wasn't too familiar where they were. Generally speaking, this feel is kind of the Punjab area is definitely a good guess. Now, what I'm doing here is looking around for abbreviations for provinces. So they should be two letters. And that would be extremely helpful. Quite often you'll see them in English. So looking around and just seeing what I could find. Now, my guess, I did do Punjab, but I hedged north as well too in case it could have been in the north. Ultimately, it was a fine guess for India. I'm not disappointed with how far away it was or anything. It might have been like 100 kilometers, something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head. But she just went central Punjab and was 11 kilometers away. So when you're in India and you're playing someone and they get 11 kilometers away, it is what it is. It was. I don't like to to say luck because there's always skill regarding where you guess. And sometimes you get a good plunk, sometimes you don't. But ultimately, if you're not sure, just going in the central area is in the province is a very good idea. And it ended up paying off for her. So um, I'm not mad with where I guess though. I couldn't get anything off these signs. I kept looking around trying to find something, but honestly, just nothing was there. And I look around, try to get an idea where I am. And yeah, ultimately, so she did take this round, but not this round, this game right here. So yeah, ultimately, I am kind of curious how far away I was here. So I wanted to cover the north as well too, just because sometimes you do get put up there as well too. But yeah, with that said, I think my guess was good for sure for India. It was yeah, 142 kilometers away in India, and I took damage there because she was 11 kilometers away. So insane guess, very well played. So this is Turkey. This is not what I wanted. You move around and see a turkey garbage can. And this, to my mind, was actually a big blunder by me here. Now, I knew it was Turkey. I tried reading when it says Belindesi. I saw that on the garbage can. I couldn't make it out. Those will tell you what city you're in, but I couldn't make it out. So I just did a central guess in Turkey. Now, I'm pretty disappointed with that because anytime I'm playing the game here, I would have went to the Agri Izdir area with these mountains. So it wasn't a good guess, and ultimately I could have done a lot better here. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is sometimes. I got the country right, sure, but my guess could have been a lot better there. And this actually ended up costing me the game here. So first match to Tatjana. So she won that one. Well deserved. I got kind of smoked in that one, but that is okay. Because we are going on to the no move, which is my favorite portion. Here is, you see that Kenya snorkel. I was really having a hard time deciding if it's north or south. It didn't really feel coastal to me, so I ended up kind of just doing a hedge guess more south. Um, when I look back on it, north did make a lot more sense, but when you're in the moment, you don't always make the right choices. So I remember I was closer on this one, so did some damage there. But yeah, Kenya can be pretty tough. A lot of it looks the same, and sometimes just those central guesses do pay off a lot more. And I was just seeing if there's any towns I recognize. To be honest, I don't even know what I was doing here. I should have just clicked somewhere and gone on with my life. Like I'm not gonna know where the city is on this one. Just kind of a general guess would be good. So, but ultimately, I look around, seeing if I recognize anything, and I do more of a central hedge, which actually ended up paying off for me, because if my memory serves me correctly, yes, it was in the north. So, good stuff there. Good start to the no move for sure. And yeah, we will see the next one. Now, this one really annoyed me because I knew exactly where it was. In Europe, you see blue strips on the license plate, and I saw that here. So Lebanon has the blue strips. There's Arabic, and it really felt like Lebanon. So I guess Beirut. Tatiana did not know where she was, but just off a feeling and a guess, she ended up being 3 kilometers away. So ultimately, a very good guess on her part. She got the city right. I didn't. I just went to Beirut. But ultimately, very good guess by her. Very good guess by me too. Ultimately, but. Didn't have a whole lot to go off of there, but I recognize the license plates in Arabic, and that's enough to tell me that it is. Yeah, and how far away was I there? Yeah, I was 61 kilometers away. Not bad. Anyways, this one here is Thailand. So this is very important when you're doing these no moves to really understand Southeast Asian, what side of the road they drive on. This, I don't even remember if I could make out any font. And sometimes people can't even tell the difference between Thai and Cambodian font. But Cambodia drives on the right, Thailand drives on the left. Malaysia drives on the left, Indonesia drives on the left, Philippines drives on the right. These are very helpful. Now, It felt kind of more touristy to me. They had some knockoff Eiffel Tower there, so I ended up going to Bangkok area. This really could be anywhere in the country. It ultimately was kind of just a lucky guess, but it worked out in my favor, so I'm all right with that. So we will go on to see what the next round is. This right here, I knew she would know this. This is Malta. You can tell by the kind of Mediterranean feel. We're driving on the left. Again, I don't know exactly where Malta this is. To be honest, I don't really care a whole lot. It is what it is. When you're in Malta, you're going to be close anyways. I think I was 11 kilometers away. She was like 7 or something like that. Something like that. But ultimately, it was Malta. Now, if you didn't know that was Malta, you could have got some serious damage there. But I knew she would know that as well, too. So, yes, here I'm actually really happy with my guess that I made here. Didn't have a whole lot to go off of here. So always look to where the sun is. And if it's in the north, you are in the southern hemisphere. So you pretty much have, with the yellow lines as well too, with this kind of landscape, sure, you could be South Africa, Australia, and New Zealand. The mountains felt more New Zealand to me. And now, why we're not in South Africa for sure, ignoring the road lines, the license plates are similar to what you'd see in like North America and South America, with them being not as wide. So ultimately, we found a mountain range. We actually both picked the same mountain range, and it was right. My pick wasn't the greatest. She went to the central of the mountain range. I saw something that said doubtful range, and I was like, I want to go there. Sometimes you got to do things for the memes, but ultimately that was not a good choice. I should have just went into the center of the mountain range, but I kind of like the spot, so it did cost me a little bit, but that's all right. I wasn't sure if she'd actually get it, so great job to her in finding that out. That was definitely a tough round. Here is where I have that slight edge and no move, just a little bit sharper. I recognize that to be the Puerto Rico car, so I'm going to go quick. I'm just going to go in a suburb of Santo Domingo. I don't know where it is. If you don't know the Google car, you can also see the area code as well too, and that's going to give you a good clue. But she didn't know that. Now, if she moved around, she would have, but pressures of the game. So I won the no move. So we go into the 30-second chaos. Russia. This is not good. No move in Russia. I don't know Russia at all. And my cursor wasn't actually working, so I was like, am I even going to get to pin it down here? But I usually just go by the Georgia area here if I'm not sure. It seemed right, but it wasn't. But it's Russia, so whatever. She kind of picked the general same area, ended up being more central Russia, so it is what it is. Yeah, Russia's tough. All right, this one was very shocking to me. Even looking at it now, Finland makes sense, but I picked Sweden. I thought for sure this was Sweden. The trees do make sense for Finland, but the red building I don't know, it just made me think it was Sweden. So, ultimately, not a bad guess by me. She guessed Finland and was right. This really could have been either or, in my opinion. And to be honest, I was kind of shocked, but it is what it is. So this is an Argentina poll, and this is where I had a chance to win the game. There's not a lot of vegetation here. I was gonna go deep south, but I wanted to be safe. This was not the time when I was this confident to go central Argentina. Now I was closer, but I knew this was going to be in the south, and this is where I had a chance to win it, and then I blew it, unfortunately. So looking around here, we are in Russia again, not where I want to be. I just go to the same spot because I'm like, where the heck like I'm so bad at region guessing Russia. Russia's tough. She went for Central, and it was right, so I took a lot of damage here, which is very unfortunate. So I have to be closer. So I can't play safe anymore. I have to play and take a bit of risk on this next one. So this final one here was Ghana. You can recognize it by the tape in red sand. I see a lot of that red sand in Yendi Wa area in the north, and I could tell it was a big city, so that's why I went to Tamale. Honestly, I think that was a good guess, but it was Kamasi, and she went to Kamasi, so yeah, it is what it is, and she took the win there, a very well deserved win. She played incredibly well. And I'll be honest, I don't feel that I played that well. So for my final thoughts is, hey, it's a double elimination tournament. Still a lot of life left in me. She definitely deserved that win. I didn't play terrible, but she was just on another level that game, and well-deserved win. So good games to Tatjana, and I'll have to come back from the lower bracket now. All right, thanks for watching.